Hello, folks. My name is Jeff Miner, and this is my first time live on Facebook, so I'm kind of excited, a little bit nervous. I've never done anything like this before. But what we're going to talk about today a little bit is mental health. It's Mental Health Awareness Month, and if I have any insights that I can share with you or give to you, I would love to do that. So feel free to ask any questions that you would like to. And a little bit about me so you know who you're talking to. My name's Jeff Miner, and I have been a therapist for 26 years. A therapist that has kind of tended to focus on working with athletes and working with peak performers or people that are here and they want to get to here. So please feel free to ask any questions. I see one question that came up, and I would like to talk about mental toughness. And when I'm working with people and I work with athletes, and a lot of the questions come down to what is mental toughness and why would I want to use, or why do I need mental toughness? And the key to mental toughness is it's being consistent. It's being true to your word. It's being honest. You know, and a lot of people think that mental toughness can't be learned or taught. But you can ask any Navy SEAL before they go into the program if they're mentally tough versus where they come after the program. You know, mental toughness and Navy SEALs go hand in hand. So what I try to do is I try to bring that to the lay people, to people, athletes, to anybody that has a mission or a goal. And a lot of the challenges that people face that I have seen and the struggles with mental toughness are people tend to worry about what other people think way too much. And if you're worrying about what other people think or impressing others or proving yourself or not playing for the fun of the game or not doing it selfishly for you, you're never going to perform your best in anything because you're feeling that outside pressure. You're feeling guilt if you don't perform perfectly. You're feeling like you're not enough. And so mental toughness is the people that get into routines. They get into patterns. They don't worry about pleasing their coaches or pleasing their parents or pleasing their friends, or it's all about them doing better for themselves. So let me see, are there any other questions here that people would like to talk about? And where do the questions come up? Do you know? Anybody know where they're, oh, I see, all right. So I see a question now, and it is how, my son gets really nervous before a competition. So what do I have him do? He gets to the point where he's throwing up or he's anxious or he has to go to the bathroom or he just psychs himself out and has all kinds of doubt. What do you do with an athlete that struggles with mental toughness or pregame anxiety? So the first thing that I usually work with athletes on, or anybody in general that struggles with anxiety, is you got to have techniques. You got to have some tools in your pocket. First, you got to stop worrying about what other people think. Second is you got to have a technique or a way to relax when you need to relax. And it's not an easy thing to do. It's like when I ask athletes or people, you got to meditate for 5 to 10 minutes a day. People are able to do that usually for about 3 or 4 days, but then they don't see the changes or they don't feel it fast enough, and so they don't tend to stick with that a lot. And what I try to do is hold them accountable to do that, because once you have meditated, once you have learned a relaxation technique, once you have learned a method of controlling your anxiety, then you can use that pre-game so that you're in the zone, you're ready to focus, and you're ready to go. And this happens for tests. It happens for all kinds of different situations, like public speaking. The number one fear of people is public speaking. And it's like, what do you do before then? If you get really anxious before, what do you do? And the next one is a relaxation on command technique where you train your body to respond to a cue. And that takes work. You have to practice it hundreds of times before you can do that. So, and it also comes down to a pre-game routine or pre-test routine. Like, what are you doing prior to the test? Are you thinking about, oh, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, you have doubt, I didn't prepare enough, I'm worried, I'm stressed? Or do you do the behaviors that are going to build you up, like listen to music, do a meditation, do a behavior that is going to relax you, bring you down, bring you back into focus where you play or you do your best? Any other questions that people would like to ask that would help me to give you some insights into performance? Okay, I see one more here, and that is perfectionism. Does anybody suffer from perfectionism? I know I do. I want to be perfect, and if I'm not perfect, a lot of times I won't do it. So I'm not even going to attempt something if I know that I'm not going to be good at it. And so many athletes at a high level have perfectionism and they beat themselves up. And if they're not perfect, they become their worst enemy. And what I try to help athletes or people in general to do is we perform better when we're our biggest fan, when we're our best friend. So my goal is to help them understand the value of being their biggest fan. You know, if I was playing in a game and one of my teammates made a bad play, I'm not going to go over and yell at them for making the bad play because that's going to take them down. Well, I need to do the same thing for me. When I'm struggling, when I'm having a difficult time, if I'm beating myself up, it's only going to get worse. So I have to learn how to be my biggest fan. So today I wanted to cover some basic topics and try out this Facebook Live thing for the first time. I think it's kind of fun and a good way to get information out. If any of the things that I've talked about today struck a nerve with you, or you struggle with anxiety or perfectionism, I would encourage you to find somebody, hopefully me, or someone else that can help you to deal with those pressures and anxieties and have a plan in place for when you are feeling those emotions, because you don't have to live with the anxiety that you feel before them. And mental toughness can be learned. It's something that you can get better at, something that you can practice, and I guarantee it will take your game to the next level. So this is Jeff Miner with the Triumph program. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I look forward to talking to you in the future. You have a good day, folks. Bye.